Hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play. Last episode, we created a brand new character, a Charr thief, and we begun our story in this region of the world, exploring the Charr storyline, and we explored the first map of this area called Plains of Ashford. And today, I'm going to take a deeper dive into the Charr personal story, and starting off, we are going to read a letter sent to us in the mail from Cruelmane titled Urgent, Report to Your Barracks. I regret to inform you on behalf of Tribune Torga Desertgrave that your warband suffered heavy casualties during the recent defense of Smokestead. While the Tribune considers your performance during the engagement to have been exemplary, the tragic losses to your ranks necessitate some consideration of your future with the Ash Legion. Tribune Desertgrave requests that you meet her in the Black Citadel to discuss the matter. Written by Cruelmane. Let's go ahead and leave Smokestead and leave the Plains of Ashford and go into the capital city of the Charr, the Black Citadel. And here we are loading into the Black Citadel, and here we are loaded into the Black Citadel. And it is just a monument to Charr supremacy, as well as the Iron Legion's ingenuity and prowess and building. And very curiously, we can kind of see here in the Black Citadel, and if you take a look at the map, in the very center of the city is one of the most important landmarks, if not the most important landmarks of the entire city. It is the Imperator's Core, where the Imperator of the Iron Legion sits atop. And for anyone who kind of notices, it's kind of like a giant metal ball of yarn for the Charr, who are a cat-like race, which is very funny. And also, interestingly enough, there was a bug in the game the other day, about a couple weeks ago now, where there was a second Imperator's Core here, sitting right here next to the original, and I had a lot of fun kind of recording a very quick short video that you can check out in the top right. But let's go ahead and come over here into our story instance and begin our story step called the Tribune's Call, and let's respond to our Tribune. A Tribune is a high-ranking member of a specific legion. So there is Imperator, which is like the great big leader. So we have the Iron Imperator here.
I think we're the only
in
ones
the city,
left.
Tribunes are like the next
Near
rank
as
down.
I can tell, everybody's at some kind of briefing at the mustering grounds.
And here we have Claw Spear. So really quickly, I want to go into my story journal and I want to explore the story options that I made for my character. So just like when we created a human, we have different story options. So we have one that's kind of like related to our profession or class that we picked. So I picked anonymity as being a very important value that I hold as a thief. And I picked ferocity as being a very important value that I hold since I am a Charr. Last episode, I talked a lot about how I picked that I am a member of the Ash Legion, which is a very important decision that relates directly to this story chapter that we are doing today. And I also picked that my father's background, I had 3 different options. I picked that my father was a sorceress shaman, which we will explore more in the second episode. Additionally, I picked that my sparring buddy, my good friend that I fight and that I kind of train with, is Claw Spear, and this here is Claw Spear. And he said, if you missed it, at least you made it. I think we're the only ones left. Near as I can tell, everybody's at some kind of briefing at the mustering ground. So Claw Spear and I are the only ones left in our warband. And let's go ahead and meet our Tribune right over here. We have this nice Ash Legion tent here, and we have Tribune Torga Desertgrave right here.
Too many knives can make a mess.
At ease, soldier. Damn shame that the Battle of Smokestead nearly wiped out your warband. Without you, Baradin would be stomping our skulls by now.
Yes, Tribune. I owe my survival to Ritlock Brimstone. He held the line until reinforcements came to take out the Duke.
True. Still, Legionnaire Hal was lost in the fighting, so your warband needs a new leader. Congratulations, you're promoted to Legionnaire.
Thank you, Tribune. I'm ready for duty.
I have an operation for you. We have intel that the Flame Legion has infiltrated the Citadel. Their spies—
Excuse the interruption, Tribune. We have hostiles incoming, ready for battle. Guard Tribune Desertgrave. We're under attack!
So we are now under attack by Flame Legion. We just found out that there are Flame Legion spies in the Black Citadel. And we also just found out that we have been promoted to Legionnaire, so that means that we are in command and control of our own warband. Let's go ahead and just finish off these Flame Legion and then see what they have to say.
Well done, Legionnaire. You're already proving your worth. As for you, Fengar, do you need to go back to the Farrar and relearn basic perimeter security?
Sentries won't mess up again now that they're dead. And, I'll get new ones. You're lucky I was here, Fengar. The real question is, was this an attack of opportunity? Or is the Flame Legion planning something?
They know we're onto them. Those miserable flame rats. All they did was verify our intel. Their blunder's our chance. Here's your mission, Legionnaire. Go to the Serrated Blade Tavern and ask about Black Citadel brandy. Your contact will say the barkeep waters it down. I'm told some Flame sympathizers spend their time there. Discover who they are, and find something I can use to derail their plans. Questions?
None. I'll be quick and quiet, Tribune.
So we are going on our next mission, and we are going to go ahead and head to the Serrated Blade to fill out this mission. Let's go ahead and leave the instance, and then we can head straight over there. We are kind of seeing at the very start of our story here that the Charr are very militaristic, and we talked about that last episode, and we are seeing it unfold more and more as we play through, where it is very based around kind of like military operations, where like Legion is very, very important, and your warband is very, very important, and in Charr society, all of that is very focused. An interesting piece of Charr lore where just like any other race of animals or plants, they reproduce, but instead of kind of like a traditional human value of a family unit where a mother and a father has a child and they raise the child together, in Charr society, when two Charrs have a child, they don't really see their child after the child is kind of born. The child is taken to a Farrar, which is kind of like a military academy for young Charr to kind of grow up and be put into a warband. And a warband is more of like the traditional kind of family unit where you spend most of your time socializing in a warband, but the warband is used for like military operations for whatever a legion needs. When we were younger, we were put into a Farrar, and we went through all of the training necessary to become a good Ash Legion spy, and now we are in a warband that we are currently rebuilding, and we are going to go ahead and head over to this area to do our mission. But first, I want to take a look at this area to kind of highlight some very cool statues here of very important Charr characters, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of just take a moment to run to each one by one and kind of just read what each plaque says and butcher every single name here. So this is the statue of Ophela Socleve, who was born in 1090 AE and died in 1116 AE. She was a legionnaire of the Soul Warband, was a lieutenant under Callus Scorchrazor Reedmore. She was renowned for her brutality with axes, oftentimes dual wielding, but also enjoyed just wading into battle with a single blade. Ophela, like all the members of her warband, looked with hateful eyes upon the shaman caste and their worship of inferior gods. They were proud to fight at the side of Callus Scorchrazor as she freed the Charr from their enslavement to irrational dogma. Ophela lost her life in the Battle of the Plains of Goghan after slaughtering an untold number of foes. Over here, we have the statue of Violo Raptorgaze, who was born in 1083 AE and died in an unknown year. Viola was a premier marksman of her time. Some even say she could have outshot the legendary Pyre Fierceshot. Though she preferred the life of a hunter, Viola answered Callus Scorchrazor's call to fight against the Flame Legion. She performed her duty with dignity, eliminating many high-ranking members of the shaman caste with a single shot from her longbow. After the war, Viola laid down her armor and returned to the plains of Ascalon to resume her life as a hunter. Years later, she left even her old home, leaving no word of her destination. No one knows what happened to her. Here we have Nox Darkheart, who was born in 1105 AE and passed away in 1172 AE. Nox was a member of the Iron Legion and spent much of his military career laying siege to Ebenhawk. Nox and the Dark Warband completed a number of successful sorties in that campaign, but could never gain enough ground to hold the walls. Nox holds the distinction of being the first Charr warrior of his era to actually stand upon the walls before being driven back by the Ebon Vanguard. Here we have Bully's death reign, who was born in 1072 AE and died in 1138 AE. Bullies was a member of the Ash Legion and was famous for his incredible speed with the bow. Even as a cub in the Farrar, his Primus recorded that Bolus once pinned down an entire warband with a barrage of arrows. He often scouted ahead of his warband, sneaking behind enemy lines and gaining position from which to rain death down upon their heads. After leaving active duty, Bolus trained aspiring rangers in the Black Citadel, teaching young cubs mastery of the bow. Here we have Pharaoh the Butcher, who was born in 1253 AE and died in 1322 AE. Pharaoh, formerly of the Iron Legion, is the father of Tribune bearer Goreblade. Pharaoh was obsessed with the tainted legacy of his grandsire, Drab Gorefang, and relentlessly pursued the matter even against the orders of his superiors. This caused him to break from the Legion and join the Sentinels defending the brand. There he became a living specter of death, earning his nickname, the Butcher. When his son was born, he selflessly volunteered to answer for his ancestors' crimes so that Bearer could reclaim the Gore Warband name with honor. After his father died, Bearer successfully petitioned Smolder the Unflinching to erect a statue in his honor of his father's noble sacrifice. And here is the statue of Callus Scorchrazor, who was born in 1079 AE and died in 1116 AE. Grand Cub of Pyre Fearshot, Callus Scorchrazor led the rebellion against the Flame Legion and their dominion of the other legions. Herself a member of the Blood Legion, she gathered allies from across all three legions and trained female soldiers in secret to become a formidable force. Her rebellion turned the tide in the final battle with the Shaman cast on the plains of Gogan. After the Flame Legion's surrender, Kala fell victim to an ignoble act of treachery. The Imperator of the Flame Legion was so shamed by his defeat that despite offering his surrender, he stabbed Kala with a poisoned dagger. She died mouthing the words, "At least I die knowing my sisters are free." Her great sacrifice continues to inspire soldiers of all legions. So here we have 6 statues of very important Charr characters, and to take note of one really important character right now is Callus Scorchrazor. So here we have Pyre Fearshot, who I mentioned not a name last episode, was a very important Charr character from the original Guild Wars that kind of began the Charr uprising against the Flame Legion. So Charr society was controlled by the Flame Legion, a caste of sorcerers and shamans that basically just kind of controlled everything, and Pyre Fearshot rose up against them with the aid of great adventurers as well as many other Charr in order to begin an uprising. And Callus Scorchrazor, who is the Grand Cub of Pyre Fearshot, is a very important character who basically rallied female Charr across Ascalon and the regions surrounding in order to further the uprising against the Flame Legion and to eventually put an end to the Flame Legion. But let's go ahead and come over here into our story mission here, and we can continue our story.
You there, Scrapper. This place have Black Citadel brandy?
Sure, but between you and me, the bartender waters it down.
Around here? I'm surprised he's still alive to do business. Speaking of business, Desert Grave sent me.
I've identified 2 Flame Legion spies inside the tavern. They have the password we need, but we can't attack them inside without starting a free-for-all. If that happens, the spies will use the chaos to make their escape, and we'll lose them for good. Ideas?
I could encourage them to leave now, and without causing a scene.
Really? Well, lead on. I want to see this. I'm right behind you.
Let's go ahead and come in here and talk to the 2 Flame Legion.
More ale! And maybe some whiskey! Hurry up!
Welcome to the Serrated Blade. If you cause trouble in here, I'll cut your tail off. Until then, sit anywhere you like.
So let's go ahead and find a way to get the Flame Legion spies out of the bar. And here I see a shady Charr and a suspicious Charr. The shady Charr says, "Get lost, stick your nose in our business and we might just cut it off and keep it as a memento of the time some guy snuck his nose in our business and we cut it off." I was hoping for someone to pass the time with, but I see you're in more of a trophy hunting mood. If you talk to the other one here, he says, "Back off, This conversation is private, no strangers invited. And I could say, strangers, would a stranger offer to buy the next round? And he says, why would we take your charity when we can take all of your money and buy the next round ourselves? My plan's better. No one gets hurt. After a few, no one feels any pain. He says, skewer this. It's pointless to talk now. We'll just have to come back later when it's less social in here. No fun at all. That's okay. I'll catch you next time.
That drunk's still staring at us. What a pain in the tail.
Let's just go out the door very fast.
Nicely done. I thought we'd have to set the place on fire to get them outside.
Getting them to move was simple. Getting the information, on the other hand.
Let's tail them. It's best if we get what we need without directly engaging. That way, they can't go warn anyone.
And if they catch us following them?
Then we see if you fight as well as you spy.
Too many drunk troublemakers there.
Looks
Couldn't get
like we're
anything
out to
done.
hunt someone.
We have to drop by
Let's
the
tail
hideout
them.
before we go to the
See who
camp.
they're working
Keep
with.
an eye out, right?
Time to get to work. Here, this might help.
Let's go ahead and tail these two Charr that just left the tavern here. They're currently invisible, so we can kind of sneak around and see where these two Charr are going.
Interesting. They're sticking close to the bar. I thought they'd go farther afield.
Let's go ahead and
Burn
sneak
me.
around here.
I realize where they're going. Maybe that's why so many workers have been disappearing lately.
Our Charr friend here has an idea of where they are going. Let's go ahead and just continue over here.
Damn, I was right about the workers. Flame Legion's been killing them off and subbing in shills.
And you're reporting in without a kill?
There were complications. Besides, we have business here first.
Fine. Head on in and get it done. You better hope nobody followed you.
Let's go ahead and do our next story step here, which is assassinate the
Those
enemy.
punks have the info we need. Let's take out the guards.
We drop out of stealth and we can take care of these fake workers standing outside this building here. And then we can go ahead and just breach the door and see what these two Charr have to say. And we can gather some information from them.
Let's listen at the door and see what we can find out.
In fact, we're actually going to listen through the door first.
Here's where we split. Report back to camp, rookie.
Hang on. They changed the password again. I forgot it already.
I can't keep covering for you.
They change it at random, sometimes twice a day. Who can keep track of that?
Everybody but you. Fine. But this is the last time. It's burnt soul now. There's the info we need. What do you say? Leave now, or take them out?
I say we take them, Legionnaire, quick and quiet.
I like the way you think.
And at long last, let's go ahead and breach
Break it
this
down.
door.
Intruders! Kill them!
There's a third Flame Legion here. Let's go ahead and breach these two up. We have this third Charr here, the suspicious one, that is now going to be attacking us. Let's go ahead and finish him off. We can go ahead and just headshot him to stun him, and then we can go ahead and do a little bit of a flurry attack. This Charr has quite a bit of health, which is very interesting. Let's go ahead and do a black powder shot there, and you can steal, and then use our stolen ability to stab the Charr. Let's go ahead and finish.
Get that password back to Torga. I'll clean up here and catch up with you. Go!
Let's go ahead and leave this instance, and we can head back to our Tribune. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to kind of just run around the Black Citadel for a moment on our way to our next story step, and we can go ahead and just get some points of interest here. I think if we come over here, we can get one here. The Black Citadel, as we can kind of see here, there are a lot of ancient ruins similar to the Plains of Ashford, and this is a very cool location because the capital city of Ascalon was called Ren. That capital city was located here. So when the Charr came and retook Ascalon for themselves, they built their monument to the destruction of Ascalon and the home of the Iron Legion on top of the human capital city. And if we come over here in a moment, we can kind of get a very good shot of Ren, the old city, and what is now the Black Citadel, just sitting on top of it. We were just in the trading area of the Black Citadel. Over here is actually the trading post, but over there is the bank area and all the crafting stations. And then here we have a very nice view of the hillside here. Had a ton of ruins here, and if we look down here, you can see even more ruins with some Ascalonian ghosts kind of running out there, and we can see there's some mortars just firing at them. And then we can see the Black Citadel here on the left with the ruins of Rin on the right. And then let's go ahead and come closer to the center of the city so we can go ahead and head to our next story mission, passing the statues of the Great Charr that we talked about earlier. Over here we have a little bit of a point of interest that we can grab, or I think it's actually down there. Let's go ahead and just jump down real quick.
Faster!
Here is a really cool place called the Plaza of Remembrance. If you talk to Alma Arashad here, she welcomes us to this place, and we can ask what's going on here, and she says, didn't you learn anything in your Farrar? This is the wall of fallen warbands. The names of those who have died in the service of the legions are immortalized here. It looks small for a wall of names. We rarely honor individual soldiers. Look to the statues for that. This wall lists the fallen by warband only. Glory and death is a shared achievement. Live as a team, fight as a team, die as a team. I understand. And here we can see very long lists of different Charr warbands that have fallen in service to the legions. And let's go ahead and head into the center of the Black Citadel, the Imperator's Core. This is a very cool area of the city, and it is a multi-layer area, and it is home to the Imperator of the Iron Legion, as well as many important tribunes that have their office here. One of which is Ritlock Brimstone, who is a tribune of the Blood Legion here in the Black Citadel, and is one of the former members of Destiny's Edge, old friends of Logan Thackeray. Though, of course, Ritlock Brimstone and Logan Thackeray's relationship is a little bit rocky for reasons we will find out in the future. Let's go ahead and enter the story instance, the Tribune's Call, and we can go ahead and talk to our Tribune, and we can see our Tribune's office here in the Black Citadel. If we come through this door here,
Greetings. Tribune Desert Grave is awaiting your report.
and then we can just head over to her office right over here. And in here is actually Ritlock Brimstone, who we were just talking about.
Torga, Blood Legion soldiers are missing and you owe me. I told you about the sympathizers at the bar. Now you tell me what you found there. Is this a bad time, Tribune? Sakea and the new Legionnaire are back from the Serrated Blade. Hey, hold on. I know this soldier. Fought Baradin with me. Made Legionnaire already? Excellent. Excellent. Yes, sir. Tribune Desert Grave promoted me. Smart move. And so was deploying you to spy on the Flame Legion. The Serrated Blade is the bar I was talking about. What did you find there?
Back off, Brimstone. My operation, my intel. So unless you want to fight over it, I've got agents to debrief. Fengar can show you the way out.
Fine. I'm putting a lot of trust in Ash here, Torga. But you've got a Legionnaire I respect on the job. Because of that, I'll hold off. For now.
Go ahead and walk past Ritlock Brimstone here and talk to our Tribune. She says, report Legionnaire Athis Shadowclaw. How was the operation at the Serrated Blade? I can say successful, we have the information, and we left no witnesses. She says, I'm impressed enough that I'm sending you in without backup. You'll be working alone on the next mission, ready, willing, and able. She says, we found Flame Legion's camp. I need you to get in, find out as much as you can about their plans, and get out unnoticed, or at least unnoticed by anyone left alive. I can say, of course, any special instructions? She says, you'll need this disguise to enter their camp. Don't let the Flame Legion catch onto you. Brimstone may lose soldiers, but I don't. I'll say, I'll be careful. Count on it. She says, one last thing. The attack on our barracks has convinced me we should move headquarters. Brimstone agrees. Return to the new location when you're done. And I'll say, noted, I'll report in when the mission's accomplished.
You've done well, Legionnaire. Good luck in your next mission.
You can go ahead and just pick an item here, and then we can head
Time
to
for
our
a promotion.
next mission. And we just leveled up to level 12, so I can go ahead and pick up this reward as well. And then I'll go ahead and waypoint over there. So a very interesting piece of Guild Wars 2 trivia for people who might be newer to the game. Originally in 2012, when the entire person story originally released, and the leveling experience from 1 to 80, and all the different Cortarian maps, as well as all the other things that came out in the game, were first released, the personal story worked a little differently. So today, the personal story chapters unlock every 10 levels. So when we reach level 10, we unlock chapter 1. When we reach level 20, we unlock chapter 2, and so on. We've explored that in this series. But back in the day, that's not how story chapters were unlocked. The story chapters unlocked when you completed the previous mission. So here we are working on a spy for a spy. We would have unlocked this mission when we completed the previous step that we had just completed, and that is true in between story chapters. So when we complete the final chapter of this story, we would actually, back in the day, have unlocked the first chapter of the next one, and we wouldn't have to reach level 20. Let's go ahead and head into the story mission here.
I'll stay out of sight while you get the info. Good luck.
So we have our buddy here. Let's go ahead and head into this Flame Legion camp. We are currently disguised as a member of the Flame Legion.
Give me the password, or I'll give you a second smile just below your chin. Back off. The password's burnt soul. You should be less jumpy. It's bad for your health to twitch like that. Don't tell me my business. Especially not before a big attack. Hurry up and get in there before you miss the briefing.
So apparently there is a big attack coming up. Let's go ahead and head into here and pay attention to...
And that's the order from Tribune Griefblade. We do this right, blood and iron won't even see the end coming. Everybody clear? Good. Gear up and move out. Down with the Black Citadel!
So let's go ahead and talk to the Blood Legion Imposter and the Iron Legion Imposter here. And we can kind of see that the Flame Legion are really kind of organizing here to launch an attack on the Black Citadel. So while the Flame Legion are really cast aside from Charr society because of the actions of many great Charrs in the past, they are not completely gone, and they are still working really hard to try to control Charr society. And as a proud member of the Ash Legion, we are going to do our best to prevent that. Let's talk to this Iron Legion imposter here. He says, "What do you want?" And I say, "I'm infiltrating the Iron Legion. I need to be briefed." He says, "You want a detailed briefing? Prove you know your basics. Name one of Iron Legion's tribunes." So we can either say Bureau Goreblade. How should I know that? Fine, I guess Rithok Brimstone or Torga Desert Grave. Let's go ahead and answer Bureau Goreblade, because we know this because Rithok Brimstone is a tribune and the Blood Legion. Torga Desert Grave is our tribune in the Ash Legion, and we had read a little bit earlier about this Goreblade character here. So let's answer that. And he says, "That's right, so you passed the first test. You're still a long way from passing for Iron."
Blood's new centurion is Volante Tornpaw. She's young and female, but don't underestimate Blood Legion. Her assassination will stir up her legion like a firebrand in a devourer nest. So we dress as Iron Legion, kill Volante, and Iron takes the blame. It's genius.
So it looks like the Iron Legion are pretending to stage... So it looks like the Flame Legion are attempting to stage the Iron Legion assassinating an important Blood Legion character there. And there we saw a very explicit example of sexism and how the Flame Legion are very, very sexist. Let's go ahead and talk to this Blood Legion imposter, who says, "Who are you, some scrapper out to join the winning Legion before it's too late?" And I can say, "That idiot sentry held me up. Quit being a jerk and tell me what I missed." He says, "I don't take orders from you. In fact, I don't think you're fit for this job. Let's see if you fight hard enough to pass for Blood Legion." And I can say anything to shut you up, but I warn you, this may sting a little. Let's go ahead and just fight this imposter, who is definitely a little weak here.
Ow, that hurt like... I mean, now you're making
Flame
me
Legion,
mad.
of course, very, very weak. Let's go ahead and finish this imposter off.
Hey, I give! Bellfire's claws, you're tough.
Glad you're on our side. The plan's simple. We pose as Blood Legion and break Iron's precious new siege engine. We frame Blood, watch Iron attack them, and the whole Citadel will be clawed athroat. Then we strike.
Let's go ahead and report to the Flame Legion Centurion here. Flame Centurion Kagar, however you pronounce it. And he says, eyeballing me as a dangerous habit soldier, what do you want? I can say, I've been briefed on the operation, sir. Looking forward to it. Can you tell me more? And he says, thanks to Tribulus Griefblade's hard work and cunning, Iron fights Blood, Blood fights Iron, and the winner is Flame. Get ready to move out. I can say, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, maggots. Enough jawboning. We've got a job ahead. Just a nudge to start Iron and Blood fighting. Then we step in and pick the bones clean.
Hey, get back here and let me out so I can fight, you cowards. I deserve to die in combat.
And here we have a Blood Legion prisoner that we can talk to. And he says, you're wasting your time, Flame Freak. Torture me all you want. I won't talk. I like pain. In fact, pain makes me purr. Quiet. I'm not with the Flame Legion, and I'm not here to torture you. He says, great. Get me out of here. They're going to kill me slowly, and that's my least favorite way to get killed. And I can say, I'll get you out. Where's the key? He says, the jailer has it, but it's chaos here with the big attack looming. There's new orders coming down all the time. Soldiers running around like moas with their heads cut off. The chaos might help. Sit tight and stay low. So I can talk to the jailer here. And he says, watch it. You're in my territory now. What do you want? And I can say, I've got new orders from the Centurion regarding this prisoner. More new orders. This is crazy. This right paw doesn't know what the left paw is doing. What is it this time? I can say, I'm taking over here. Give me your keys. Now. Figures. I give this job my all, and they give this job to someone else. Tell the Centurion I said, forget it. Here's my keys. I'm gone. Let's go ahead and unlock this Blood Legion prisoner here. And he says, wait, these devils tortured me and killed my whole warband. If there's fighting to be done, I want a piece of them before I go. And I can say, okay, I hope all this time in the cage hasn't made you rusty. And let's go ahead and defeat the Flame Legion jailers here. So this member has lost their entire warband, and they are the last ones alive. And let's go ahead and extract some vengeance for him and kill all.
It's only the first squad. The rest won't let me go so
What
easy.
the prisoner's out. Help me put this idiot back in his cage.
We have 3 more Flame Legion here. Let's go ahead and work together and fight off all of them. We've got to kill like 6 now. We have some more Flame Legion over here with some shields. Let's go ahead and take down these shields and take down the Flame Legion as well. We can come over here and take down this brazier. And then there's another one over here. We can be supported there. And there's a bunch of braziers over there as well. Let's go ahead and fight these 2 off. And then we can finish off this one as well. And then we have 2 more over here that we can finish off as well. Just cutting and stabbing through all the Flame Legion here. Flame Legion, and it says again, definitely a weak faction, and we are going to do our best to eliminate all of them. Let's go ahead and fight off the jailer here, who is holding this person prisoner. This jailer, very not good person, and then we have the Flame Legion holding a Blood Legion individual prisoner. Let's go ahead and bring him to an end. In service to the legions. There we go. The jailer is down. Let's go ahead and talk to our new friend here.
Ugh. It feels good to get out of that Flame Legion disguise. You look much better now. Blood of the Conor, you saved my life.
I wish I could have done the same for your warband.
The Flame Legion wanted the Citadel watch roster and killed my friends one by one to get it. I was next.
I hear you. Ghosts and incompetent slaughtered most of my band. But you don't have to be a Gladio. Throw in your lot with us.
Gladly. I owe you my life. Just promise me that we'll pave the Citadel streets in Flame Legion carcasses.
Count on it. For now, get to safety. A warband member's outside. Wave, say you're with me. They'll get you to the Citadel. I'll meet you there when I'm done.
Let's go ahead and report to Torga at the new location. And here we are entering the Junker's Scrapyard, and we can take a look around here. It is a giant kind of forge area, And if you take a look at the center here, it is very cool. And there's actually a vista way over here that we can go ahead and run towards, run past this story marker here, and you can take a look at the vista. This area is another example of what the Iron Legion has done to this area of the world. It is a very Iron Legion-y type of location here. Let's take a look at this vista. And then we can head straight into our story mission that we ran past just over here. And now that we are on the story mission, we can just run straight up here and we can report to our Tribune.
Hey! Over here. I'm glad you made it. My feet hurt and I'm tired of shooing people away.
Hail, Tribune. I have information. Flame Legion is going to trick Blood and Iron, making each think the other attacked them. If the plan works, it might break the Citadel's alliance. They're targeting Iron's new weapon and a Blood Legion centurion. The whole thing was cooked up by someone named Tribulus Griefblade.
I know the name Griefblade. He's real trouble. Blood and Iron need to know now so they can prepare.
No. This is an Ash operation. Blood and Iron would make a Drake's breakfast out of it. We'll handle it ourselves.
The Legionnaire will take one mission. Fengar can handle the other.
Fengar? Tribune, Fengar's not experienced enough for something this big. I'll do—
No. Sakea, your orders are to track down Griefblade. Fengar, you finally got your chance for field duty. Now, Legionnaire, you brought the intel, so we'll make it your call. Guard Iron's engine, or Blood Centurion. Decide, and move out.
So we have an option to either defend the Iron Legion machine or the Blood Legion Centurion, and I'm going to go ahead and pick to defend the Centurion because I believe it is probably a little bit more important to defend the person over the machine in this situation. So let's go ahead and ensure the safety and security of this Centurion. Our Tribune says that leaves the Iron Legion mission for Fengar. I'll send word to Rhoda the Quick to meet you near the Blood Legion camp. Done. The Flame Legion won't get anywhere near Blood Legion's new Centurion. And let's go ahead and head straight over there. With the story mission complete, we actually have an option for a new weapon, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up this pistol, and I'm going to come into my equipment here, and I'm just going to equip this pistol here so we can begin exploring having a pistol in our main hand, as well as wielding two pistols at the same time. A very kind of gunslinger type of build that we are going with right now. And we also leveled up, so I can go ahead and accept these rewards, and we can come out of here. And the Blood Legion camp is all the way over here in the plains of Ashford, so we can waypoint close to it, and then we can just run the rest of the way. But let's go ahead and take a moment to come into our training page here, and we can begin exploring some thief skills. So thieves have very different skills as well as very different traits compared to guardians, and we can kind of begin just exploring some of the different options that we have. So we have signets, preparations, tricks, venoms, and deceptions. So I think I'm going to go ahead and train through some preparation skills first, so we can go ahead
It's easy
and
when you
learn
know how.
a bunch of different things. So we learned 2 new skills, or 3 new skills rather. We learned Prepare Pitfall, where we can mark our current area with controlling magic, ready in the location to crush enemies when Pitfall is released. We have Prepare 1,000 Needles, mark your current location with inhibiting magic, ready in the location to poison enemies. And here we have Prepare Seal Area, mark your current area with stifling magic, ready in the location to seal enemies in. And we can go ahead and put one of these on our skill bar. Let's go ahead and put the Pitfall on our skill bar. And we can also see we have a bunch of abilities related to being a Charr that we could equip in our skill bar if we wanted. Let's go ahead and enter this instance.
I'm trained to kill, not to save, but I can handle this. Lead on.
Let's go ahead and talk to Rhoda the Quick here.
I'm looking for Rhoda the Quick. I need to talk to her right away.
Keep it down. I'm Rhoda, and if these Blood Legion soldiers see us together, they'll know something's up.
Flame Legion assassins are on their way to kill Centurion Tornpaw, disguised as Iron Legion. We have to warn the Centurion.
Centurion Tornpaw is in the command tent. Just look for the meanest soldier there, but good luck convincing her she's full of spit and rumble.
I'll do my best.
Let's go ahead and come over to the command tent here, and we can talk to the Centurion.
When our last enemy lies dead at our feet, and the true Conor steps forward, which legion will command all others?
Blood, blood, blood!
Blood, blood, blood!
Let's go ahead and talk to her. Not you, Claw Spear. I want to talk to the Centurion here.
Centurion, Tribune Desertgrave of Ash sent me to warn you. Flame Legion assassins have targeted you for elimination.
An Ash soldier? In my camp? Ah, Rhoda. I suspected you were one of Torga's spies. Get out of my sight, both of you, before I pull your teeth and use them as caltrops.
Aren't you listening? I just said that the Flame Legion has stolen uniforms and equipment to disguise themselves as Iron. They're coming to kill you.
I heard you, but I'm not Ash trash. I don't snivel like a scaredy cat at the first sign of danger. Now, tell me their plan.
War between Blood and Iron. They think your death will break the Alliance, and they have a well-planned attack coming. You need to be ready.
I always am. You two stick around and you'll see. I'll even let you mop up after the fight. We have visitors. Show them a Blood Legion welcome.
Let's go ahead and defend the Blood Legion camp here, and we can fight off any Flame Legion assassins that attempt to come in here. And I see a group of Iron Legion imposters coming up right here.
Why the show of force, Blood Legion? Is this a declaration of war?
Yeah, war against the Flame Legion, you cowardly lying scum. Prepare to die.
Burn me, they're ready for us. Lose the disguise, just attack!
Let's go ahead and start unloading onto all these Iron Legion imposters here. So with our new pistol in our main hand, we have a very basic auto attack. This isn't an auto attack, it's just a single attack that we can do over and over. Here we have a bola shot, which will allow us to fire bolas at our enemies, which just immobilizes them, deals a little bit of damage, and applies some vulnerability to them. And here we have one of my favorite abilities in the entire game,
More of the
Unload.
fiends. Form up,
This is
Blood
our
Legion.
dual-wield ability by having two pistols, and we can blast our foes repeatedly with both pistols, gain initiatives if all attacks hit. Let's go ahead and target this imposter and use it, and I can just cast a ton of bullets at all of these Flame Legion intruders here, and it just deals a ton of damage, and I have so much fun with this ability, both in like PvP and World vs. World, as well as in PvE. There is a raid boss that I absolutely loved using two pistols on. It's definitely a little bit of off meta build, but I had a ton of fun with it. And I just love wielding two pistols. I feel very powerful, and it feels a lot like a gunslinger, kind of similar to like an engineer as well that can wield two pistols that we'll explore in the future. Here we have a lot more Flame Legion coming in. We can go ahead and just keep attacking them.
That was harder than I thought. I'm forced to be grateful to Tribune Desertgrave, whether I like it or not.
Centurion, I'd like to explain.
Shut it, Rhoda. How long have you been Torga's pawn? You're a spy and a traitor. You're lucky I don't gut you where you stand. I strip you of Blood Legion rank. You're finished, Gladium. Now get out of here!
I'm sorry, Rhoda. I don't know what you're planning to do, but I have an idea. Join my warband. You're loyal enough to out yourself as a spy just to keep his Centurion safe. And that's the kind of soldier I need.
Hey, you're the one who had the initiative to stop the Flame Legion. I'd be honored to join your team.
Outstanding. Pack up your gear, and I'll see you at the Black Citadel.
So we have another member of our warband here. I believe we're up to 4 members now. Let's go ahead and pick one of these, and we can just put it in our bags. You can grab our level up reward here, where we got a mask that we can go ahead and equip, and then we can head back to our Tribune in the Black Citadel. Here we are in the Black Citadel. Let's go ahead and run up here, with Claw Spear by our side, and we can talk to our Tribune here. Oh, we have some suspicious Charr here.
It's been a long time since I had my blood down in blood and mud.
Here's our prey. Just like Tribulus said. He knows every tail wag you much make before you do.
Ha! Where's Tribune Desertgrave? How did you fanatics get this far into the Citadel?
How they got in doesn't matter. What matters is how they're leaving. In pieces.
Brimstone, what's a Blood Tribune doing here? Tribulus said this was strictly an Ash Legion op.
Tribulus was wrong. To arms!
Let's go ahead and fight off these assassins that came here for me with the aid of Ridlock Brimstone, as well as Claw Spear and Sick Kick. So these Flame Legion are very easy to deal with.
The mission has developed a hiccup.
A hiccup? More like tuberculosis. Tribune Desertgrave's been taken hostage. Griefblade captured Fengar and tortured him to get information on the Tribune.
Now he'll torture the Tribune to get what he can from her. I know flame troops are mustering near the ruins of Rin. That's where they took her, where we must go.
We better wait until dark. That'll give you time to gather a strike force to back us up, Tribune. Then, under cover of darkness, we sneak and you storm.
Reckless, audacious, risky too. I like it. I'll be on your tail when I have the troops to back your play. Good luck, Legionnaire.
Let's go ahead and head down to the ruins of Rin that we were looking at earlier, and we can go ahead and launch this operation to rescue our Tribune here. So to get down to the ruins of Rin, you can actually come over here, and there's an elevator over here that we can come down. And I'm forgetting if this elevator takes us directly to the ruins. Oh, it takes us to Gladium Canton. So this is a very cool area that is kind of home to Gladiums. And Gladiums are individuals who have lost their entire warband and are no longer a member of a warband. And here we can kind of see where a lot of them live. Gladiums are very disrespected and looked down upon in Charr society and by the Charr. Unfortunately for us, we are not one of them. Let's go ahead and come over here and grab this waypoint real quick, and then we can take another elevator down into the ruins of Rin. The waypoint is just right here, and then I'll just 180 and come back over towards this elevator. Here we can kind of see there's some Savari and some Ashura kind of around here, which is very cool to see. And then we can grab this waypoint right here since we're right next to it, and then we can head into our story mission right here.
Psst. Over here. And keep your ears down. This place is crawling with Flame Legion, and the entrance is sealed with magic. We can't get in.
How do the Flame Legion get inside?
They use a magical trinket. Griefblade's second in command carries it. He's still out here somewhere.
Then we have a plan. Find the officer, kill him, and use his trinket.
Quick and quiet, Legionnaire. Let's go. The Flame Legion must have gotten wise. My stealth magic isn't working. We'll have to do this the hard way.
I don't hate patrol duty. Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to think without hearing all the interrogation screams.
Let's go
Hostile
ahead and fight
contact.
our way to the Flame Legion Centurion, and we can fight off any of the Flame Legion that we can find. So there's a group right here that we can deal with, and then we can head over group to group and get to this Centurion. Let's go ahead and drop this Centurion here that we met in the previous mission. So if you're really good getting rid of Kagar and getting him out of the Black Citadel permanently, let's go ahead and launch our preparation here, our pitfall, and then we can activate it to deal a ton of damage to the Centurion here. very cool looking ability. Let's go ahead and deal a ton of damage to the centurion. He is pretty hefty, has a ton of health, so let's go ahead and just continuously work on dealing damage. We can cast our unload on him, and we can just cast it over and over and over again. And then we can take a moment to steal here, go invisible. We can use our stealth skill here. Sneak attack, except I waited too long around stealth now. I'll use that.
Now I can open the door to the hideout.
And then let's go ahead and head over to this Flame Legion hideout, and we can kill a couple of groups of Flame Legion along the way.
Stand back. I know how to use this thing, but I'm not entirely sure what'll happen when I do. Now we just have to find Torga and hope she's still alive.
Ah, Ash lackeys. Looking for your precious Tribune? We locked her up with only that cub's head for company. Fengar, I think his name was. Poor Fengar. Wait, I know you, Legionnaire. Why aren't you dead? Seems I should have sent more assassins. Ah, well.
You could have sent 10 times as many. Still wouldn't have helped.
I see that. Never rely on a dull knife, as they say. I would have done you personally, but I was busy torturing that chatty cub you sent me. Of course, I don't need him now that I have Torga. She hasn't been as cooperative. Yet. But I'm sure Imperator Balefire will change that.
Your Imperator will never see Torga. Not if I have anything to say about it.
No? Then we'll have to cut out your tongue and keep you from saying anything at all. Guards! Wipe out this annoyance while I get back to work.
Burn you! It's the Flame. Hostile contact.
Let's go ahead and fight all of the Flame Legion here. This is a really cool part of the world because I have played this game since 2012 and I have a lot of powers in it. And I've actually never been in this cave before. I've never done this story chapter before. It's a story choice of being in the Ash Legion. Where more and more Flame Legion come in, you can just go ahead and deal with every single one of them. I believe with our warband that we got going on here, as well as with the Ada Rithok Brimstone, none of them can best us.
Fengar begged for a mission. He said he was ready, and I trusted him. I caused his death.
It wasn't your fault, Tribune. Fengar knew what he was getting into. He died a soldier's death, and we can be proud of him. Griefblade disappeared as we were closing in, but we'll get him for this, Tribune. I swear it.
I can offer you some help with that. While Tribulus was holding me prisoner, I gathered information from his soldiers. Tribulus has another safe house at Igni Castrum. That's where he's gone.
I'm not sitting this one out, Torga. Tribulus dies for what he's done. I'll beat him to death with his own horns. Respectfully, sir. If we storm in, Tribulus will just elude us again. We have to do this Ash Legion style. Quick and quiet. Fine. We do it your way. Sakea, take Torga back to the Citadel. The Legionnaire and I will handle Tribulus.
So Rithok Brimstone and I are going to go on a mission together, and we're going to go ahead and finish this threat once and for all. Let's go ahead and just pick a pistol, and then we can waypoint into the plains of Ashford over here. And here we are on the outskirts of this camp. We have our warband here, and Rithok Brimstone as well.
Tribulus is definitely in there, with a full complement of Flame Legion troops. It'll be tricky to get close without alerting the guard. Looks like your kind of battlefield, Ash. What's the plan? We can't risk face-to-face combat. We need a diversion that'll draw some troops away before we sneak in. Divide and conquer, huh? I love the classics. Once we separate them, we can destroy them. Quick and quiet-like. Now you're thinking like an Ash Legion soldier, sir. Follow my lead, and Tribulus will never see us coming.
Let's go ahead and come into here. We can see there are a ton of Flame Legion on our mini
Come
map.
on. Let's invite a few trolls to this party.
I'm going to go ahead and put another skill on our action bar here. let's go ahead and examine this quarry. And we can rile up the trolls,
That did it.
so some of these
Stand clear
wildlife
for the
around
troll
here.
stampede.
And then let's come into here, and we can fight all the Flame Legion right here. Go ahead and just deal with them all. Let's go ahead and come over here, and we can grab this dying bush, and we can light it on fire. And then we can come over here, and we can fight all these Charr here. There's a malfunctioning flame turret here that I can go ahead and sabotage to make it explode.
Tribulus said the Ash Legion might be on to us.
I feel
So go ahead and throw some black powder on our fire, and then you can just deal with all of the flame Legion here.
the irritating Legionnaire lives to vex me. Again! I must be cursed.
It's over, Tribulus. Blood and Ash are united against you. You will get away this time.
Tribune, Brimstone. I take it back, Legionnaire. You bless me with this splendid gift. Torturing Desert Grave was fun, but the information I'll glean from Brimstone will raise me to the Flame Imperator's right claw.
I have some information for you, Tribulus. I know how you die, and it's time you found out.
Shall we play with you some before killing you? I too so hate to be bored.
Let's go ahead and put it into Griefblade, and with that, put an end to the Flame Legion plot that we've been doing this entire
You just
episode.
earned my full attention.
Go ahead and
I
avenge
ceased.
our fallen friend.
Bow down. Blow. Like a heron, I
With
will
that, we
not
can
die this
also
way.
avenge Fengar. Let's go ahead and finish off Griefblade. He is almost dead here. Let's unload a couple of times, and there we have finished this chapter of the personal story.
Ha! Nice work, soldier. That was so much fun, I don't want to stop. Here, I'll hold up Tribulus's body and you kill him again.
Thanks, but no thanks, Tribune. We've wasted enough time on this Flame Legion scum.
Too true. You've done good work here. You did the Ash Legion proud.
Thank you, Tribune. It was an honor to have you fight by my side. Not many from Blood Legion would try it our way.
I like knowing how my allies fight. It's the best way to keep them from becoming my enemies. Now, get some downtime. You've earned it.
Looking forward to it, sir.
And there we go. I can go ahead and accept my reward here. I got a Black Lion chest key, which is really cool. I can go ahead and accept my new level up reward as well, which is a shoulder piece that we got. We can go ahead and equip that. Very cool. And we got a letter here from Smolder the Unflinching, Imperator of the Iron Legion. Commendation and congratulations. On behalf of the High Legions and the entire Black Citadel, I offer heartfelt thanks and congratulations on your recent efforts in the matter of Tribulus Griefblade. Your dedication to duty and performance as a newly commissioned Legionnaire have both been exemplary and have been duly noted in the official record. From this point forward, I shall be watching your progress with great interest and even greater expectations. Well done, soldier. Written by Smolder. Let's go ahead and leave the story instance, and we can head back to our merchant to clean our inventory a little bit. I can go ahead and just save my Black Lion chest key for later, and I can just salvage all of this stuff up. Let's come over here, and we can kind of clean up our inventory in the Ash Legion camp, and we can go ahead and finish the episode off in this Ash Legion camp as well. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of my Guild Wars 2 series, and I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. A little bit of a longer episode, I think. We'll see how it is after I edit it. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, drink some water, check your posture, and I'll see you all next time in the next episode of Guild Wars 2. Goodbye.